Welcome to the Live Life Well podcast for busy women with me, Joanne Bibby. I hope this is a place where you'll find encouragement, inspiration and community to live life well, body, mind and soul. Hello and welcome to the Live Life Well podcast for busy women with myself, Joanne Bibby. And today we're doing something a little bit different. I thought I would just intersperse our episodes with the fantastic guests that we've had and will be having on with just some short chats with myself. And I thought I'd just share a bit of my story today because I've realised I've started this podcast and I've not really told you a lot about myself. You might be thinking, oh great, she's got this podcast, she's got some awesome guests. But who is this woman with the mad Scottish accent? What's she about? So I thought I'd just share a little bit of my story about how I got to this point in my life, what my passion is for health and wellness and supporting other women to feel amazing. And then just share quickly one of my top tips that I use in my life to look after my health and well-being, something that you can just really easily, practically apply to your life too. So hopefully you'll find that of value. So yeah, I'm obviously from Scotland, as you can probably tell by the accent. Grew up on the Isle of Skye, then lived in Glasgow for a long time. Now I live in Sheffield in the north of England with my husband, my two girls who are under 10 and are the joy of my life. Both a wonderful mixture of me and Matt and a whole load more. They are wonderful with our dog, Yoko, and our hamster, Jimmy. And I've always been interested in health and wellness. I did fashion and business at university, so totally different. But my interest in health and wellness wasn't always the most balanced. It was more like chasing fads and diets, as we do in our 20s quite often. Tried it all. Slimming World, Gillian McKeith, if you're somebody to me, you might remember Gillian McKeith and her mad diet tips. And I think I even tried the cabbage soup diet at one point. So I had this desire to be healthy and look after myself, but I was just looking in all the wrong places, as we do, trying to control and minimize myself and restrict myself. So there's that whole diet culture thing that we all know about, which I'm so glad that nowadays is becoming challenged. And I love the celebration of body positivity. And I just love that now there's more of a focus on being healthy, not being thin. I think that's much more of a positive focus. And I think it comes from a place of accepting where we are. It's okay to know where we want to go. If there's changes we want to make to be fitter and healthier and be able to run about after our kids and do all the things we want to do. But it has to come from a place of starting from accepting ourselves, doesn't it? So yeah, I had this interest, and then about 12 years ago, I started a health and wellness business. Didn't know much about nutrition or really how to look after myself, but got more interested as I grew my business. And that was a really fun journey. But then I got married and I had my kids, and I just hit the lowest point in my life. Although all of that was wonderful, it's also very challenging having two little ones under 3 at home. My mental and physical health was just at an all-time low, just exhausted, as you are with a toddler and a newborn, but I was beyond exhausted. I think I definitely had some postnatal depression added to the mix there. We'd moved to a new place, was feeling really lonely and isolated. So all of those things just meant my resilience and my ability to cope were really low. And then I thought I need to do something about this. I'm living on cups of tea and chocolate hobnobs, which are wonderful, but you should have other food groups in your diet. And so I need to do something about this. I just feel awful. So I started to look into gut health and how that affected my health. I did a 30-day gut reset that I have been coaching people through for the last few years. And I just felt so much better by the end of it. It wasn't easy. It made lots of changes, cut down on a lot of the foods that I was relying on that were just draining my energy. Um, but just felt, even though I was still tired and still wasn't getting a lot of sleep with having little ones at home, just felt so much better. And it just made me feel so empowered to know that there was things in my control that I could do to support my health and well-being and my energy and my mental health. And since then, it's not been a perfect journey. I've still have challenges with my mental health and how I feel about myself, but I feel in such a better place since then. And I'm so glad that I've been able to come on that journey and help other people with theirs. I love coaching people and supporting people with their health and well-being goals. And like I say, just reminding people that they are empowered to make good choices. And since then, since doing the gut reset, I looked into more lifestyle things because our health is not just about what we eat. You can eat the perfect diet, but if you're stressed out of your mind, if you're getting 5 hours sleep, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're lonely, if you're not moving your body, you're still going to struggle. So it's just been so much fun to look into what the different areas of our well-being are and how they all work so well together for us to feel as good as we're meant to feel. And that's really where this podcast came from. As I've built my business, I've just met the most amazing women on my way. I've been so privileged to meet women from all different backgrounds, all with stories to tell and wisdom and skills. So I just thought I have to get their knowledge and wisdom out there for us all to benefit from. So I thought, why not start a podcast? And that has been loads of fun too. So that's really what the podcast is about. It's a space and it's a community for busy women to take half an hour out to think, how can I look after myself better this week? And then how can I show up better for all the other areas of my life? And although I call it the podcast for busy women, that is it's a bit of a hook. It's not like I said before, it's not a badge of honor. It's just a recognition of the fact our lives are busy and demanding. We have lots of people that want lots of pieces of us and lots of things that we want to do, lots of things that we're excited to do, but we just won't do them well if we're not taking care of ourselves. So, on to my little tip for this podcast, and something that I try and do every month. Ideally, the end, right at the end of the month before the new month starts, or right at the start of the new month, I do a monthly health and well-being check-in. So all you need to do this is like a bit of paper, a notebook, and a pen or a pencil. You might want to keep it in the same notebook so you can sort of check back and see your progress. But I just sit for half an hour, and I just think about what are the different parts of my well-being and what is it that I need to give a bit more attention to? Maybe where am I struggling? What am I neglecting more? And how do I want to feel as a result of making these changes? It's all about healthy habits and looking after each aspect of our health. I've grown to learn that, bad things and extremes do not work. They're not sustainable. So it's just about stacking healthy habits that are manageable and maintainable. So on a bit of paper, I will write down physical health, mental health, and spiritual health, because they're the three aspects that make up our health and well-being. And they're all equally important. Although I am passionate about food and eating the right kinds of food to nourish our guts and our bodies, I recognize more than ever how much the other parts support that and work together, and how our gut health affects all those different parts, doesn't it? And I will be talking about that more on future top tips from Joe. But I write those three headings down, and then I think to myself, which one needs the most attention at the moment? Which of these areas of my life am I neglecting the most? So is it my physical health? Am I not if I've been not eating well, if I've not been nourishing myself well, if I've not been taking time to cook and prepare and shop, or have I just become a bit sluggish? Am I not moving my body? Am I not getting out for my walks every day? Am I not doing the exercises that I enjoy? Am I not getting enough sleep? Am I not drinking enough water? These are all crucial aspects of our health. And then mental health. So am I doing those things that bring me joy and bring me peace? Am I seeing my friends? Do I have community around me? Positive people? Am I learning and growing? I think it's so important. I was talking to my little girl who's 6 about this today. She's talking about school. She's like, why is it so boring, Mum? And I was like, school doesn't stop when you leave secondary school. Like we're always learning and growing, aren't we? Or we should be. So what are you reading? What are you listening to? Hopefully you're listening to this podcast and hopefully it's inspiring you. But yeah, how are you feeding your mind? How are you challenging your mind? Maybe you need to take a new course to learn a new skill, pick up a new hobby. Maybe you need to get some counselling or therapy if there's something that you're stuck with. And that's the thing that's holding you back the most in life just now. So how are you taking care of your mind and your mental health? And then finally, your spiritual health. That could be anything, again, that is you showing up and taking care of yourself. It might be that you have a faith. I personally have a strong faith that defines my life, really. And I know if I neglect that part of myself, it has a big impact on me. But if I give that part of myself attention, then everything else works better. So it could be spending time growing your faith, or it could be pursuing your passions. It could be resting enough. What is it that gives your soul peace and joy? Is it, again, spending time with friends? Is it serving? Has it been part of like a cause that you're passionate about? It's what sets your soul on fire, but also brings you joy and peace. So there's all sorts of things you could be doing for that. So just looking at those 3 areas and thinking, what one do I need to give the most attention for the next 30 days to month? And then just choosing one action point, one habit that you're going to focus on for the month. Because if you try and change loads of things at once, like I say, you'll just get overwhelmed and you'll give up. So it could be, I'm not drinking enough water. I'm going to have 2 liters of water a day for the next month. It could be, I'm not moving enough, so I'm going to go for a 30-minute walk at least 5 days a week for the next month. It could be, I'm going to sign up for that course that I've been wanting to do for ages. I'm going to do that coaching course. I'm going to do that cookery class. I'm going to learn to crochet. I'm going to do a Sudoku. I'm going to do Wordle every day just to keep my brain going. Or I'm going to phone that friend. I'm going to phone a friend once a week. Or I'm going to put something nice in the post for a friend once a week to just nourish my soul and nourish theirs. I'm going to join a new walking group or a new running group so I've got community around me. I'm going to try a new business networking group. I'm going to take half an hour a day to meditate or read or journal to nourish my soul. So what's one thing you could do this month for October just to nourish your mind, body or soul? And then after 30 days, you'll find that's become a habit. And habits are great because we don't have to think about them. They just become parts of our life and they don't become an effort. They're always a bit of an effort at first, but if you can stick to something for 30 days, the scientific evidence is that you will stick to it before that. Because the really beautiful thing that happens is you feel the benefits of it. It's those small daily habits that grow to make great changes and have great impact on ourselves and those around us. So you'll want to keep doing it after that because you'll be feeling the benefits, you'll be feeling different. And you might think that one thing's not going to make that much difference. Going to bed half an hour earlier is not going to make that much difference. But it will, and you'll look back and you'll see it and you'll want to try something new and you'll stack a new habit on the next month. So that is my little tip for this mini series that we've done, our first 6 podcasts, and we'll have another 6 coming soon. I've got some amazing speakers lined up. But please let me know if you try out a monthly health and wellness check-in with yourself, and if you want to keep accountable. Let me know what your habit is going to be. We can cheer each other on, or find a friend to do it with. Say what's going to be your healthy habit for this month. Most of all, I just want you to know that you are so precious and valuable, and your well-being is so worth taking care of. Not just for those around you, but just for you to feel as good as you're meant to feel and experience life in all its fullness. So let me know if you try it. Let me know if it helps. Let me know what your goals are going to be for the month. Remember just to share this episode if you want to come back to it once a month, and remind yourself what you're doing and why you're doing it, and share it with anyone that you might think it could be useful for. But thank you so much for being part of this community. You are so appreciated and loved. And thanks for dropping in today. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope you've had some inspiration to look after yourself, body, mind, and soul, and feel as well as you deserve to do. Please remember to subscribe and share this podcast if it's been helpful for you. And I'll see you again soon with another episode and some more amazing guests. Take care.